Do people really have no idea what they're eating, or are they just delusional? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another video. Today it is Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you could do me a huge favor, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the love and support you guys have been giving me since I started my channel. It's amazing how far this channel has come in just a few short months, so thank you very much. Before I get started, I just wanted to show Scout. Nope, I did not cut my hair. I texted her yesterday and I was totally messing with her, and I told her I shaved my head and she was freaking out. She goes, "No, you didn't." And so I actually sent her an old picture of mine with my head shaved. She goes, "You did? Oh no." And then I told her I was just messing with her. But speaking of Scout, tomorrow night, Big Talks with Big T, it's back on. I wasn't going to do it because I have a thing at church, but talking with Scout, I got her on as a guest, and so we're going to probably do it around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, somewhere right around there Eastern time. So keep an eye out for when I go live. It'll be Scout with me. We're going to talk about some of the things we've been talking about on the channel the past few days, whether or not parents are responsible for their kids' obesity, how much responsibility is on that kid, how much responsibility is on the parent, and where that line should be crossed when it comes to child abuse. So that'll be an interesting conversation. So please join us tomorrow, probably around 3 or so Eastern time. And we should look forward to that. It'll be a great conversation. But today I'm going to react to Kiana Doherty. I know I said I was going to do part 3 of that Dr. Phil episode, but I just sort of realized that we covered that topic whole. I mean, it's done. So there really wasn't much more that I could add to that. And so what I'm going to do today is I saw that Kiana put out a video regarding secret eaters, and I thought that it went along well with what I've been talking about the past few days, which is, are people really ignorant about what they're eating? Do they really not know the foods that they're putting in their body? Much like when we're talking about the parents in the past few episodes, do the parents not really know what they're feeding their kids? But do they really not know what they're feeding themselves? Are people really being delusional about what they're eating? Or are they just in self-denial about it? They just think, oh, everything's fine, there's not a big deal, I'm eating like everybody else eats. It's a really good topic of conversation. We're going to get right into this because it's 14 minutes long. And so, you know, in Tony years, that means this is going to be an hour-long video. So let's get right into it.
Denial. Self-deception. It is so much more common than you think. Case in point, secret eaters. Over and over and over again, this British health TV show proves to its contestants that they are lying to themselves about how bad their eating habits really are. In the very beginning of every episode, the host will inquire about what's going on with their weight, and the clueless contestants pretty much always say roughly the same thing.
I sometimes think I don't eat enough because I don't eat that much.
Some days I don't have enough food, yeah.
The people around me are eating what I'm eating, yet they're a size 0. Most of the time I'm good.
The host, Anna, always plays it off like it's a mystery.
It just doesn't sound like you're eating that much. Little bit of a mystery going on here.
But she knows, and we know, exactly where this is going.
I mean, yeah, it's very interesting because so many people just sort of put on the show like, I'm not eating that much. Just like the mom yesterday was like, I don't know why my son is getting fatter. I give him chicken and salad and vegetables, and, you know, it's not a big deal. We're not eating a lot. And then when you really look at it, it's like, oh, wow, you're giving him 6 snacks a day, and, you know, the portion sizes are massive. So, like, why do people really not understand why they're gaining weight? It's like, is that really a mystery to you? You're like, I'm not eating that much. Or maybe we delude ourselves. And I know I did this when I was younger. I'm like, wow, I'm eating the same thing that my sister's eating, but she's not gaining weight and I am. What's going on? We have the same parents. We're eating the same meals. And then, like, looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, I was delusional about that. Because what she didn't eat on her plate, I ate. And then I'd go back for seconds, and I'd have a dessert, and I'd sneak through the fridge and everything else. So I was really delusional about what I was eating. And I think a lot of people are that same way. And they think, I'm not even eating enough, because somehow they think they're cutting back, even though they're splurging. And that's a weird thing. Like, when I talk about if you want to lose weight, you got to get this right. You got to get it mentally first. Like, there is a lot of truth to that. Because if you're deluding yourself into thinking you're not eating enough, but you're gaining weight and you don't know why, and you can't seem to lose weight because you go on a diet and you can't figure it out, it's like, it's very, very, very simple. Calories in, calories out. And so if you're gaining weight, it's not a mystery why you're gaining weight. You're eating more than you should be eating. And so, I mean, it's very, very interesting.
The in-house cameras and the private detectives will inevitably catch the contestants eating far more than they think they are, even when these people are certain that they could not possibly be eating very much. But how is this even possible? It seems a little bit crazy that people could be this out of touch with what they're eating. And these people aren't sleep eating, they're not under a hypnotic spell, and they're not stupid. And yeah, it is possible that the show is just entirely faked, but the truth is, we are scary good at lying to ourselves. So today we're discussing self-deception, behavior change, of course, and my personal story of secret eating over the past year. Let's start with Natalie. Just like everyone on the show, Natalie thinks her diet is not that bad.
From one sense, I kind of think, oh, actually, I could be quite healthy, really, because I don't have fizzy drinks, I don't have salt, so...
Not a very high...
And that's how a lot of people in the fat acceptance movement trick themselves into thinking they're healthy. I mean, we've covered some of them. They're like, oh, I'm vegan. And we're like, oh, because you're vegan, you think that's automatically healthy when it's not? Vegan eating is not healthy. I mean, you can do it in a healthy way. You can focus on vegetables. But a lot of vegans are eating these chemically processed foods that are made to taste like meat, but are really not meat. And they're eating it in such high quantities, and they're eating high amounts of carbohydrates. They don't really understand that what they're eating is not healthy at all. So just because you're eating a vegan lifestyle does not mean that you're healthy. Does not mean that you're doing the right thing. Does not mean that you should be losing weight or, whatever. But yeah, we cover a lot of people who think that they're eating healthy, or they say that their lifestyle is healthy, or, it's Hayes, right? Health at every size. And just because, they go to the doctor and they're overweight and they have no blood issues and they think they're eating healthy and they exercise a little bit, they're like, I'm leading a healthy lifestyle. I'm just fat. I don't know why I'm fat, but I'm just fat. And it's just, like I said, it goes back to the basic truth. Calories in, calories out.
High threshold for healthy, but yeah, okay.
I wouldn't say I had sugar. I wouldn't say my diet's high in sugar.
Oh, really?
Because I don't eat sweets or drink pop.
So here we have someone who self-reportedly does not consume a lot of sugar. But then of course the show has their PIs follow her. And not only does Natalie regularly eat sugar, they catch her eating cake while walking her dog in the park multiple times. But Natalie's diet is actually one of the worst I have ever seen on the show. She's basically binge eating. Obviously binge eating is a very specific thing, so we don't know if she technically meets the criteria. But in one fast food meal, she ordered this.
The woman ordered something, not the last order, but the one before. I want the same.
Right.
It's a large Coke. We've got large fries. We've got a large chicken sandwich, 2 double cheeseburgers, onion rings, and these are all the sauce that is to go with that.
A lot of people on the show eat really massive portions of food, but this is a step above that. And obviously I am biased, but as an ex-binge eater, I can almost feel that heart-pumping dopamine rush that would cause someone to order a meal this large. And this is
I mean, yeah, like Kiana just said, like, as someone who's been there, I understand how good it feels to order that much food. But how can you be in self-denial about that? How can you eat that? How can you go and eat cake while you're walking your dog? I mean, you might be thinking, well, I'm walking my dog, I'm getting exercise, but you stop and eat cake on top of that. So you think you're doing healthy because you're walking your dog, but you're nullifying any exercise and any calories burned because that cake is way more calories than you burned walking your dog. I mean, exercise is a great thing. I'm not going to say it's not, but you cannot work out or out exercise the calories that you take in. I mean, just if you eat a single donut, you're talking about an hour or 2 hours of walking and exercising. So you're not going to be able to outdo a bad diet. You're just not going to be able to do it unless you're working 8-9 hours a day and you severely calorie restrict yourself. So exercise is great. It gets your heart pumping and you build muscle. Like that's great. It's a good thing. But if you think, okay, I'm working out 30 minutes a day, I should be losing weight, and I don't know why I'm not, and you think you could just eat more calories because you do work out, you are deluding yourself.
Trend for her. On one Saturday, she ordered all of this.
2 sausages wrapped in bacon and filled with cheese.
2 Whisper bars and a coffee. Cup of coffee and a slice of chocolate and banana cake. Large portion of fries, beans, fried mini breast fillets, a chicken burger with a hash brown and lots of sachets of sauces. An evening of alcohol follows, adding another 1,600 calories. Fried chicken wrap and chips covered in sauce and a large bar of chocolate for dessert.
Oof.
Assuming she eats this way with any sort of regularity, how could she possibly not know where her weight issues are coming from? Pretty sure they also said Natalie works for the police, so hopefully she's not a detective. A lot of the secret eaters on this show are eating what they think is healthy, and sometimes it is technically healthy, but it just happens to be low calorie. Or they're really underestimating how little snacks can quickly add up to a big problem. But we might ask ourselves, how can someone routinely eat like this and then go on TV and say, hey, I don't understand why I'm overweight? Or eat 3 chocolate bars and a piece of cake in one day and then go on TV and say, no, I don't eat that much sugar. It's just such extreme behavior to be confused about. How could this eating be secret? Well, the answer is self-deception. It is the most common theme on this show, present in every single episode, and it's an issue you'll probably have to deal with if you try and change your behavior in any way, shape, or form, not just in relation to weight loss. It's self-deception, denial. It's a bias in the way that we think that gives us rose-colored glasses when it comes to our own behavior. Natalie's mom, Sue, for example, thinks that she doesn't eat that much.
Sue, you said to me last week that you didn't think that you were eating that much to justify why you're 17 stone. So let's just have a look.
Turns out Sue's been eating healthy, balanced meals she mostly cooks at home, but eats several chocolate bars with her multiple cups of coffee each and every day. Now, sometimes on this show, the people are just not really paying attention to what they're eating, and maybe this is Sue. But her husband is with her 24/7 and does not approve of her food choices.
No, you're not having chocolate. You don't need it. Get fruit.
He knows her diet is full of junk food and routinely points this out to her. I guess because he had a heart attack years ago, lost a bunch of weight, and really changed his behavior and wants the same for his wife. So point being, Sue can't use the excuse of simply being unaware. She does know what she's eating. She has someone literally following her around and swatting the chocolate out of her hands. So Sue is literally...
When you're fat, that's like the worst thing for somebody to be following you around. Like, there's so many times I get frustrated with people. I'd be like, can you help me out? Like, can you help me not order out? Can you help me not to eat the junk anymore? So I'll say that on one hand, but then the moment somebody actually starts holding me accountable for what I was eating, like saying, you shouldn't eat that, Tony, you shouldn't do that, Tony, you should be careful with that. Like, I would get so frustrated with them. It's like, I want that so bad. So it's like Keanu was saying, it's that dopamine hit. Like, you're just excited for it. You need it. You need that feel-good thing. But at the same time, you're just completely delusional about what you're eating. For some reason, it doesn't even register in your mind. You think, okay, I'm eating these meals, and they can be relatively healthy. But you don't really add in the little snacks and the treats. You don't count that. We also seem to not count the calories that we drink. Whether that's alcohol, if you're a heavy drinker, yeah, you're taking in a lot of calories. And I'll tell my own mom that. I'm like, Mom, you're wondering why you're not losing weight, but you're drinking all this beer. And it's even if it's like a Miller Lite or something, it's still like 90, 80 calories for a single beer, and you're drinking several of those. Like, people do not count the calories that they drink when they consider what they're eating. I mean, it all adds up throughout the day. And the thing is if you're trying to lose weight, you have to count your calories. You just have to. You have to log what you're eating every single day. You have to really take a good look at that number, and you have to be honest with yourself about it. Every snack, every little treat, every drink that has calories in it, you need to log it. And using a free app like MyFitnessPal is 100% wonderful, because it'll you put your weight and your height and stuff in there, whether you're male or female or whatever, you put that in there, and it'll give you a calorie limit for the day. It's 100% free. It's almost like Weight Watchers, but it doesn't use points. It'll give you a certain amount of calories. So if you want to lose 2 pounds per week, you got to stay within your calories. But as long as you log every single thing in there honestly, you will lose weight and you stay within the numbers that they give you. I mean, it seems pretty simple. But most people are not logging what they eat. They just mentally think, I'm doing okay. But they have no idea how many calories are in certain things that they're eating. They might see a little chocolate bar and say that, oh, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just a little chocolate bar. It's probably 20 calories. It's, not that much sugar. But then they're eating several of those per day, and it really, really prevents them from losing weight. And then they wonder what's going on.
In denial or lying to herself about her chocolate consumption. There's literally nothing else it could be. Self-deception involves beliefs that are acquired/maintained in the face of strong counter-evidence.
I kid myself that that's the only sugar I have in a day then, you see.
Well, it's not. And you know it's bad, otherwise you wouldn't be whispering and trying to hide it from Joe.
You're on a TV show about people who overeat. The host is currently showing you evidence of you overeating, and you're still not convinced that you're overeating. That is...
I mean, how much did she convince herself that she's not eating that way? She literally went on a TV show and said, I don't eat that much. I don't think I eat enough. I eat fairly healthy. Knowing that they're going to send private investigators and knowing that they're going to try to recover what she's eating throughout a day. And then now she's seeing it all laid out on a table, and then it finally clicked. Finally. She sees it all laid out before her. And then she sees what she's really eating in a day, and she's like, wow, I didn't realize I was really eating that much food. So it seems like a lot of us absent-mindedly eat. We seriously do not have any idea how many calories we're taking in. We don't really think about the little snacks. If we have some chips, maybe we'll take the bag of chips to the couch with us and just watch something on TV, and we have no idea what we're eating. We have no idea.
Quite a lot of evidence that contradicts your narrative, and therefore proof that Sue is lying to herself about her chocolate consumption. But why exactly do we lie to ourselves like this? And it seems to be because on some level, we don't really want to know the truth. Case in point, another contestant on the show, Laura.
Laura has achieved weight loss before, shifting around 4 stone in total. But in the last 6 months, that weight loss has curiously ground to a halt.
I think we've tried everything, haven't we?
Laura is one of the people on the show who's really genuinely trying to live a healthy lifestyle and is frustrated by her lack of results.
A couple of people in our office ordering chips and cheese and garlic bread and all the stuff that I actually try to avoid. They're tiny.
She works out with a trainer. She cooks all her own food. She brings a salad almost every single day for lunch. It all sounds pretty good, right?
I go to the gym and I give it 110%. I come out and I'm absolutely sweating. What else can I do? I just don't know.
So Laura, take me through the sorts of things you might have.
I'll grab a banana or a yogurt for breakfast, and maybe lunch I'll have a soup or a sandwich.
Laura has this belief and this view of herself that says, I'm a healthy person, I live a healthy lifestyle.
I do think I pick really healthy things. I eat salads and soup at lunchtime, so I do think that my diet is pretty good.
And that belief is important to her. She's lost a ton of weight, and she's done it through changing her lifestyle to be healthier. At some point in a weight loss journey, I think we can all relate to Laura, where it feels like we're doing everything right, but it's just for some reason not translating to results on the scale.
With my weight loss, I feel like I've just hit this sort of plateau and it's not going anywhere anymore, and I just don't know why.
We think we might have found something.
Oh God.
Of course, when the show looks deeper into Laura's behavior, she is found to be making an effort most of the time. The camera catches her routinely eating lattes and donuts for breakfast and at least a few sugary treats almost every single day.
Laura ordered, and it was a large hazelnut skinny latte and a cinnamon swirl.
Laura's actually found to have a huge sweet tooth, eating a ton of sugary foods, cupcakes, pastries, chocolate bars.
You averaged out around 700 calories a day just from your sweet foods.
Along with accidentally adding way too much salad cream to her salads and sandwiches. I love all these distinctly British foods, by the way. Every episode they're eating jacket potato, salad cream, cuppa.
Sue is a classic tea time treater, reaching for a sweet snack with a cuppa.
I don't know that if you made this show about Canadians that we'd have even one thing that was distinctly Canadian that we were eating. Anyway, back to Laura.
How many calories on
Very little.
It's only little is a great example of ignoring counter evidence that would demonstrate to you that you're lying to yourself about how committed you think you are to your diet.
I mean, this is literally most people, I think, who diet and don't think that they're getting the results that they want. They're like, they stand on the scale and, oh, I'm plateauing. I don't know what's going on. I've been there. Even in my recent success with my weight loss, like times when the scale is stopped, it's like, I know some of it's water weight. I know some of it, you're going to plateau. It's going to happen. But there's other times when you got to realize, wow, I'm just eating more than I think that I am. And you don't really see it until you log it and you see the amount of calories that you're taking in. But yeah, I think most people who think that they're eating a healthy diet do this sort of thing. They don't realize that, again, and I mentioned it before, that even the calories that you drink, we just don't really log those. So you can go to Starbucks and get this big old drink thinking it's okay, it's not a big deal, when in reality that drink's got 700-800 calories or even 1,000 calories depending on how much syrup and sugar and stuff is in it. So yeah, definitely if you're drinking a lot of coffee and creamer and syrups and you go to Starbucks frequently, that all's going to add up too. It's part of it. So you can't go to Starbucks and then think you're having a healthy diet and getting a cinnamon swirl and some donuts and, you know, snacking on little sweets here and there and thinking, oh, it's just a little bit of chocolate. It's not bad for me. It's not going to be a big deal. It really adds up throughout the day. And so this person who thought she was relatively healthy, she goes to the gym and works out and does all the right things, just found out that she's eating in excess of 700 extra calories per day with just sweets. 700 calories. And that really adds up because that's an entire meal. But instead of just being a meal, it's sugary nonsense, stuff that she didn't need. So on top of her normal meal, she's getting that excess of 700 extra calories, and plus what she's drinking on top of that. So you could easily see why her scale has stopped, why she has plateaued for so long. And she's not really trying as hard as she thinks she is. I mean, she's deluding herself as much as I've deluded myself, and anybody else who tries to do this and says, oh, I'm exercising, but I just can't lose weight. I don't know what's going on. Really, I mean, you're going to have to look deep down within yourself and be honest about what you're eating to truly be successful.
It is motivational reasoning in action. Self-deception involves beliefs that are acquired/maintained in the face of strong counter-evidence and that are motivated by desires or emotions. In Laura's case, as someone who is trying really hard and has succeeded at weight loss, she has this important belief. I'm a healthy person. I live a healthy lifestyle. She's motivated to keep this belief safe because it's important to her self-image and her self-esteem, even if that means lying to herself.
I mean, yeah, that's a big thing. It's like you want to portray yourself as this person who is healthy. And I totally get that. As somebody who's doing YouTube channel, chronicling my own journey, like I know it's important for me to show myself as somebody who is doing well, who's losing weight successfully. And so maybe sometimes I'm not as honest about what I'm eating. Maybe I delude myself when I have a plateau and thinking, wow, you know, I don't understand why it plateaued and I'm frustrated with it and whatever. But it's like, I mean, when I first had surgery, yeah, I mean, some of that plateau is going to happen because I'm literally having a liquid diet and it's going to plateau because you lose a lot of water weight after surgery and then you gain it back. Like that plateau is going to happen. But I'm plateauing right now, okay? So I could portray myself as someone who's constantly doing the hard work, but then I also admitted not too long ago that I'm eating a lot of carby foods because that's what I can afford right now. I'm not really sticking to any kind of diet because I can't afford it. But still, many of you are like, wow, I could see it in your face, Big T, you're still losing weight. So my surgery does hold me in check, but I'm not eating what I should be eating. And lately, I have been buying the right foods. I had a shake because a subscriber bought me some Ensure. So I've been going back to doing what I should be doing. And I've gotten some people helping me out, get the protein, get some nutritional bars and stuff like that so that I can get back on track. So I have been getting back on track. The weather is going to suddenly get nice again, so I'm going to be out there walking. So I am holding myself accountable again. But if the scale plateaus, I know why it's plateauing. It's because I'm not doing what I should be doing. I mean, it's just that simple. So if you're kind of sitting there stuck and you're like, oh, I'm trying everything I can, I don't know what to do, then maybe you are self-deluding yourself. Maybe you are just you want to portray yourself as somebody who's healthy, somebody who's trying. You work out, you're doing the best that you can, and that's the image that you want to portray to people. But deep down inside, you know you're hiding something. You know that you're eating the sweet treats that you don't want to admit to eating because you don't want to get rid of all that stuff. And there's a lot of people, like, we give ourselves excuses. We're like, oh, I just can't live without pizza. Like, oh, we need to be able to enjoy ourselves. We need to be able to do this and go out and have that coffee and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, all right, well, yeah, the occasional treat is okay. But you're going to delude yourself into thinking you can have that routinely because you are not ready to break up with that food yet. And I talk about food addiction like a toxic relationship. And you can try to see other people, right? You can try to get away from the toxicity of that relationship, but you're not fully ready to break up with it because you still get something out of it, right? You still get that dopamine hit. So you're not ready to fully separate yourself from the toxic person. So you still dabble a little bit. You keep going back, and I mean, it's going to be harmful to you in the long run because what starts out as just one little cheat, one little move back over here, before you know it, you're doing it constantly. You're doing it almost every single day, and then you're wondering why you're not seeing any results on the scale. And mentally, you still have not even put 2 to 2 together yet to see why the scale is not moving. So you're still trying to portray yourself as somebody who's done with the toxicity. You're an independent man or woman now. You're away from all of that. But in reality, in secret, you're still going back and just a little taste here and there. And that's enough to stall your results.
An example of how this works is confirmation bias, where we look around for evidence that our belief, in this case the belief that says, I live a very healthy lifestyle, there's no reason that I should be gaining weight, is true, and then either discount, such as undervaluing via it's only little, or simply ignore evidence to the contrary.
During surveillance, we caught you getting through 3,000 calories a day.
I seriously didn't realise how different my diet is to how I say it is. Basically, tricked myself into thinking when I may be putting that Twix in my mouth that I've just eaten a salad, when really I haven't. I've eaten a Twix.
I mean, and it's weird to see it this way. Because I could say this for myself and anybody else watching who's dealt with this sort of thing. It's like, how can you not know? How can you not know that you're eating that Twix? How can you not know you're buying that cinnamon bun? How can you not realize what you're doing and you're sabotaging yourself? You go on a reality show saying, oh, I'm eating healthy. I just don't know. I'm working out. I work up a sweat every single day. I'm going to the gym and I just can't figure it out. Like, how can you not know what you're eating? That you're actually eating 3,000 calories a day. Completely sabotaging yourself. I mean, and we just talked about it, right? You just kind of don't admit to yourself even that you're going back to that toxic relationship that you have with food. So you can start off well, just like she did, and she lost a little bit of weight. But she found herself little by little going back to the toxic relationship. She gets that dopamine hit. It feels really good, so she goes back just a little bit more. And just over days, over weeks, you just keep going back a little bit more. And before you know it, you're just eating like crap and eating 3,000 calories a day. I mean, it's not a sudden thing. It's just a little bit here and there that you're taking. You're going back to it. And before you know it, you're back in a full-blown relationship with the toxic person.
That's literally exactly how it works. She's right on the money.
I think now, seeing everything, I think I've been lying to myself, telling my trainer that I eat really well.
So denial.
Yeah.
A lot of respect for Laura here. She definitely has one of the most self-aware and positive reactions to this information on the show.
Surely you must feel a little bit defeated inside.
Oh God, definitely.
Yeah, she probably does. Gotta love that British bluntness. But yeah, anyway, awareness is the first step to successful behavior change. And with Laura's great attitude and existing desire to change her behavior, this information helped put her back on track. And by the update, she was successfully losing weight. I feel like I need to interject with my own secret eater story here as well. So for the past year on and off, I've been trying and failing to lose weight. Finally now, I am successfully losing weight, but how could this be? I'm not like a Secret Eaters contestant. I'm not accidentally eating 1,000 calorie bowls of cereal because I thought cream was a suitable alternative to milk. I'm not putting an entire jar of mayo on my salad because first off, that's weird, and second off, justice for Dawn.
I've got the jar.
Yeah, but it was already open in the fridge.
On top of that, I thought that this was going to be the easiest weight loss attempt of my entire life. Because my diet right now is more nutritious than it's ever been before. For the first time in my life, I don't have a food addiction. My cravings are minimal. I don't like or eat fast food at all anymore, and not in a Secret Eaters way. I genuinely do not eat fast food. I do like pizza, but I couldn't even tell you the last time I ordered it. I don't go out to restaurants. I exercise more than ever, and I enjoy it more than ever. And I'm great at changing my behavior. If I have to drop a habit or add a habit, I know exactly what to do, and I do it. So I'm kind of just like, what's the problem here? You know what I mean? And looking back at all my failed attempts over the last year, I'm still not 100% sure exactly where I went wrong. But logically, I've talked it down to essentially a combination of secret eating and self-deception, just like the people on this show. I think I sort of thought that because I'm so much better at most of these things and I'm in such a better place that I wouldn't have to be as like methodical or something. And it really felt like I was doing everything right. And when that's happening, like with Laura, I'm sure, it does get tempting to think like, okay, well, you know, maybe I do have like a medical condition. But in my case, I don't need to go on.
Yeah, I mean, she just said it right there. It's easy to convince yourself, oh, it's the PCOS. Oh, it's the medication I'm taking. Oh, I just can't lose weight. It's very easy to delude yourself because you're not ready to admit you're going back. You're so committed to this idea that you're healthy, that you're eating healthy, that you're exercising, but you're healthy at any size. So it's like you've convinced yourself of this lie, like everybody in the fat acceptance movement has, without admitting that they keep going back to their secret love, without admitting to themselves even that they're eating above and beyond the amount of calories that they need in a day, that they keep going back to the chocolate and the sweets, and they think it's okay here and there, when in reality it's not just here and there that they're doing it. And you just like, you know, before you know it, your diet's completely ruined. So yeah, I mean, it's just true. I mean, what she's saying, we've all been there. I mean, yeah, we've all been there because it's all this toxic food, all this crap and sugar and junk. Like, it's so much part of our diet that it's true that you can try to do healthy and say you're eating salads, but you're putting so much dressing on that salad without realizing it's packed full of sugar. Or you grab a bunch of yogurt thinking it's healthy, and like I told you that story where I was just constantly eating yogurt throughout the day because there was so much sugar in it, and it gave me that hit, that high, and it felt so good I needed more and more and more of it. So it's just true. You can easily convince yourself that it's not the diet, that you're not doing anything wrong, that you are working out, you're doing everything perfectly, but you just can't lose weight. So you sort of just accept it. You just accept that it's a medical condition. You accept it's something else. You just are in total denial about what you're actually eating without even realizing it. So I'm just going to end it right here, guys. But yeah, what you need to do if you really want to be successful is you got to look down and be completely 100% honest with yourself. Go on MyFitnessPal. Log what you're eating throughout the day and really take a look at it. See how many grams of sugar you're really eating. Measure the food that you're eating. Don't put on there you're only eating an ounce of chicken if you're really eating 2 ounces of chicken. Because those calories do add up. The missed calories, the amount of calories we underestimate. We think this little bitty candy bar ain't going to be much. It's okay to snack on that, but in reality, you know, it's really adds up throughout the day because you're not just going to do that once, right? So really log your calories. Really be honest with yourself about what you're eating, and then you'll be successful with it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. And again, tomorrow night, Big Talks with Big T, sometime in the afternoon. I can't give you a time yet because she's got a doctor's appointment or some appointment, and I got a church thing. So we're going to try to meet in the middle there and figure it out. So look out for me to go live tomorrow. Big Talks with Big T. All right, guys, I love you all. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you very much. God bless you.